Preparing the live stream. Oh, sorry, I just started it over again. I deleted that one and started again because it was too much dead air. There we go. Now we're back.
Hello.
All right. I don't know. Why does it say it's private? Okay, no, it's public. All right. Live show done, and then I'm gonna keep playing the music.
Are we human or are we dancer? Thank you. Brandon Flowers and the Killers.
Hold me closer, Tony
I said that wrong.
Danza.
Not the
All right.
Killers.
Now we are live. Officially.
All right, we're live.
Woohoo! Yay!
I have someone here who wants to say hi.
Who is it? Are we human? Are we
He's just waving.
dancers?
All right, Amanda. Welcome to Everything You Never Wanted to Know.
Everything you never wanted to know.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Pretty sure we had to have some kind of a nice cliffhanger in episode 4, and I didn't review that. Is everybody waiting for a big reveal?
What was our cliffhanger?
I don't know, but we should have had one if we're a
Yeah, I know.
series.
We should have one every time so we can just keep people on their feet.
One time, actually, it was on Christmas. It was this Christmas, last Christmas. I thought I was being kidnapped for real. Um, so I got in a lift at like 7:30 in the morning to go an hour away
Mm-hmm.
uh, to my friend's house for Christmas. And I got a text from Lyft before the car came, and it said, "Hey, your driver is deaf." So I don't know what else it said, but it said that. So I'm like, okay. So I come out to the car and make eye contact with the driver. And I waved and I said, hi in sign language. And he looked at me like, okay. So I got in and there's a picture of the driver on your app, right?
Yeah.
This was not my driver. This guy, and I'm totally profiling. I'm not going to say what I'm profiling, but I thought
That's
potentially I'm being kidnapped by a terrorist who wants to commit some kind of horrible act on Christmas Day, for some reason in a little tiny place in Ohio where nobody is. uh, and I may or may not have taken my medicine that morning, um, by my medical marijuana, and it may have affected somehow some of the things I was feeling to the
yeah.
point where I was convinced that I was going to be a story in the newspaper the
Yeah.
next day, which kind of made me, I was more happy than sad because I had forgotten the presents that I had for these people I was going to see. So I had nothing.
So what ended up happening? Did he end up taking you to your destination?
No, I was the great bombing of 2023, Christmas Day bombing. You don't remember that?
Okay.
Yes, I did. He took me there. He
But he
did.
didn't match the profile. He
No, it
didn't
wasn't
match the
him.
picture?
And he wasn't deaf or
That's
hard of
so
hearing.
weird. I
Yeah.
wonder what happened there. Was it some kind of technical glitch or something, maybe?
I don't know, but think about it from his perspective. He picks this guy up Christmas morning at 7:30 and he comes out of the house going,
That's so funny.
if he didn't know that he was supposed to be hard of hearing, you're like, what the hell is that for?
Yeah, I always make sure when I ride share, which I try not to do as often as possible, but when I do that, I make sure that their license plate matches, their face matches, their car model matches, all that stuff.
That's
Because
good
it's
thinking.
scary. It's scary out here. Most of
They
the time,
came,
that's why when I'm like downtown Cincinnati and I like need to go anywhere, I always just take a taxi because they're like way more like insured and they have to go jump through like a million more hoops than like Ubers or Lyfts do. So it's a lot more protected.
this one time I was in, we'll call it Gig Harbor, Washington, for lack of a better word.
Right.
It's right outside Seattle. And I had to go there for a business meeting and it was like 11:30 at night. And I had to get a taxi from SeaTac in Seattle to Gig Harbor, I don't know, 45 minutes or something. And it was in 2002. And I had a cell phone and I needed to charge it while I was in the taxi. And so I got the charger out of my backpack And no shit, it looked like you might remember this charger. Eh, the thing that you plugged in to the car, to the lighter when cars used to have those,
Yeah.
it it was shaped like this. It was shit, man. I'm not good at this. It one piece here, one piece here. So it was like a little. It looked like a gun, kind of a handle.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah. So instead of just being a black thing with the silver on it that you plug in, it was the black thing with the silver, but then it had it like curved for some reason, like a little boomerang.
Whoa, that's so odd.
And so this gentleman was not born in our country, and so our communication skills were kind of mediocre. And I conveyed to him that I would like to charge my phone if that's all right, but I did it the wrong way. I did it by holding the charger over the seat and like so for him to grab it and plug it in. And
Oh my
he
God,
no shit.
he
No
thought you were
shit.
robbing him.
It's the most I ever scared somebody, I think, in my life.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Not funny for the
Yep.
guy driving though. That I feel really bad for him. So, today our topic is music.
Music.
Very exciting. How has music impacted your life, Bill?
How is music? You know what would be really cool is if I was just gonna say how has music not impacted my life, and I was like, what
Period.
if you could all of a sudden feel and be yourself without ever having experienced music?
Oh.
Um, how much of a different person would I be? Where would I be physically? I probably would not be sitting on this piano bench in this house in Cincinnati if it weren't for music at some point. I wouldn't have had the connection with my kid's mom that I met and moved here for because a lot of
Wow.
our connection was music. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's amazing.
So yeah. So I mean, I think music not only is responsible for a large part for who I am, but for everything logistically around me, the tangible stuff, where I am, what I have, what I spend my money on, what's important to me.
I
Um,
agree with that.
so it's a really big question. And what was it? I forgot it.
Right? I do
How
not
is
know. I don't even remember what
how's,
I asked, to be honest.
it was how his music impacted
Oh
me.
yeah. So I guess in every way, shape, or form is your answer.
Yeah, I don't think I can unravel that. It's like a bunch of spaghetti all thrown together.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
be
I,
really fascinating though to pull a piece out and see what else that pulls with it.
yeah.
You're like what all of me is attached to the music that I love or hate. Um,
I would
so
definitely say like music was such a prominent part of my upbringing. It was such a prominent part of who I am as a person. I mean, it definitely saved my life multiple times. It always has. I mean, when I was a little kid listening to Eminem on the bus, thinking that I was super alone and nobody understood me and listening to this music and I would actually fall asleep every night listening to the radio as well. So I feel like whew. And then whenever you get into those depressive episodes, sometimes it's the only thing that can really help bring you out of it. And then in the car, if you didn't have music in the car, oh my gosh. I heard a question the other day. It was in an interview. They asked, um, would you rather live a life without movies or would you rather live a life without music?
oh shit, there's no question to that.
Yeah. And I would say definitely I could not watch movies ever again. But music, it's such an experience, especially because you can like go to concerts and go see it live. Like that's just what it's all about.
uh, let's talk about that for a second because
Okay.
there's so many pieces to music and why it's important to people. And yeah, uh, if you're human and you grew up, like went through adolescence, then you did find music, hopefully, that made you feel like, oh my God, someone understands me.
Yeah.
The really cool thing about that is there may be 300 words in that whole song, 300, maybe less, and you're interpreting them very specifically around your paradigm,
Yeah, definitely.
which is the beauty of art. So, and I appreciate and respect songwriters. Kevin Griffin from Better Than Ezra is one who he's just a career songwriter. He happens to be the front man for Better Than Ezra. But if you've seen a movie or watched TV in the last 20 years, thank Kevin Griffin for the soundtracks and stuff
Right.
you heard in the background. Um, and where I was going with that is he doesn't tell what the songs he writes are based on. Um, he'll let you interpret it any way you want. And I've seen him do this and let you go down that road and not enough to where you think I nailed it. You know what I mean? But in interviews, when he's pressed, he admits, no, that's personal and that's part of my therapy. And that's why I
Mm.
write. And I really am, putting words in his mouth, but I'm very appreciative of the career it's given me and what it does for other people. But that's my shit. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so it's beautiful for not only the people listening, but the artists. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but where I was going was to the Sphere in Las Vegas and that conversation you and I've had. Um, because, oh yeah, let's go back to the pieces of music. So the words, the melody, the harmony, all that stuff. I'm a big bridge guy. I had a girl, uh, one of the coolest things I ever heard. She sent me a text about a song and she's like, check this out. And the bridge is like the bridge really, makes it or something. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And she was right. But there's more to music, and I don't think we can quantify it yet, but that it exists, and you'll understand when I explain it. When you go to a concert, someone you love, you're there with, I don't care if you're in a club and there's 50 people there or 14, or if you're in a stadium and there's 45,000.
Yeah.
Those people are there because that band means something to them for some reason. And I'm willing to go out on a limb and say a lot of it is exactly what you said earlier. The, the exact same words, but different nouns, you know what I mean? In the
Yeah.
background, those memories. So when I have that experience and when I'm in a crowd and I get the blessing of a deep cut that means something to me that never gets played live,
Mm-hmm.
having that energy of the other people around me is a tangible experience that makes me part of who I am. And there's energy in a crowd like that. And that energy can't be quantified. At least I don't know how to. But if you've experienced it, you fucking know it exists.
Yeah.
And if you're like me, you want it. You want it back.
You want to bottle it up and sell it
Absolutely.
and always be able to use it.
Absolutely. So
And
music,
post-concert depression is real.
yeah. Uh, the Foo Fighters are coming here on July 25th, which something else happens on
I
five,
wonder what that
five
is.
minutes till 5 months till Christmas. I don't know, something else. Anyway, and I can't wait. And I've been in some shitty places in my life, and I'm not talking about a long time ago, where I just needed something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything. And no shit, for a while it was football, Sundays in the fall. I'm looking forward to that concert, and there's a couple more that I'm looking forward to too, um, because I want that feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, so, and you know what? Music meant a ton to me before I saw a concert. Um, for the same reasons it did for you and probably a lot of other people. I found words that made me feel like I was okay or I was going to be okay.
Or that you were like seen or heard.
Yeah. Billy Joel was that guy for me. And he's a dick and I'm mad at him. And we can talk about that if you want, Billy Joel. But um, that's where I just, deep dove into all his shit, from the time I was 12 or 13 or 14. And then when he came to town for the first time, April 12th of 1985, and I went to see him. I had no idea what was going to happen, but it was such an emotional overload. I just like fell apart. Um, and it was, I mean, I couldn't control it, and I didn't know why it was happening. But I love those moments now. I love them. I because they don't come very often, and when they do, it means, oh wow, I plugged into something that means a whole shit ton to me.
So let me ask you this, Bill. What was the first concert you've ever went to?
That was Billy Joel. That was him.
Oh, that was the first concert ever?
Yep.
Wow, so that was your
So I had no idea
experience?
what to experience, what to expect, anything.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
My first concert ever was Jonas Brothers, Avril Lavigne, and Demi Lovato.
Hmm.
What a like 2008 lineup.
You know what? I bet you they had a lot of fun, like between shows and stuff when they were on the road. I mean, Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers,
Yeah.
because Avril Lavigne's attitude can fuck anything up. Um, she's like
She
mini
is she
Alanis
mean?
Morissette. Nah, I just mean she has that.
Oh, she has that punk rock.
You don't want to get too close to Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. It was really funny because when I went, it was at Riverbend, so I was in the turf area, which was grass at the time actually.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and I was a Nick girl. And so um when Nick played a little bit longer, which he did a whole opening monologue about his diabetes. And for some reason, like in our adolescent mind, like all of us thought diabetes was like a death sentence for some reason. And so he sang a little bit longer, and me and a bunch of other girls in the audience just started bawling our eyes out like he was going to die in 6 months or something. And it was just like the funniest thing now looking back on it. But it was like one of the greatest concerts, and I probably cried through the entire thing. I actually met in the parking lot, not the parking lot, in like by the bathrooms in the main area. Andy Six from the Black Veil Brides, because he was friends with Demi Lovato at the time.
No,
And so I have
really?
this really, really old picture of me and Andy Six in a flannel. And Anna actually. And
Uh-uh.
yeah, because she was there at the concert with me, which is so funny. And yeah, we have the most, I have to show it to you eventually. It is the most early 2000s photo you will ever see in your entire life. It is so funny. Um, I wish I could like pull it up because it's just hilarious. Um, but I'll show it to you next time I'm in the building.
Hey, can I tell my Jonas Brothers story real quick?
Yeah, I would love that.
So I bought Jonas Brothers tickets, and I paid a whole lot of shit ton of money. I paid $800.
Wow.
They were fourth row.
Wow.
They were badass tickets. And
Oh
the
yeah, was that the
day,
one you asked me to go to?
yeah, the day of the show, person I was gonna go with is nowhere to be found. Uh, she had a car wreck,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and smashed her phone. And like, I don't know, a few days later, my boss comes in and he says, "Hey, your friend Ashley called and she gave you this number." And so she had a wreck. And so the tickets were going to go right unused. Here's the story. That's not the story. Ashley wrecks. I mean, that's what she does. Um, so I'm trying to find someone to go to take the tickets, and it's the day of. And so my boss, who we talked about last week, playing pickleball. If you haven't watched that, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
He has a daughter who was in college or something, and I'm like, "Hey, would your daughter want these?" And he said, "Let me see." And it's like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So I transferred the tickets to him or whatever, and I was walking out of his office, and he said, "Hey, can I pay you for these?" And my head just exploded, and I said, "No, thank you, we're good." Just walked out because there's no way I was going to tell him I paid $800 for him.
Like yeah, they're
So
actually $800. Thanks. If you want to transfer that via Zelle,
exactly,
that'd be
yeah,
great.
exactly, yeah. So
Well,
so they had a great time though, which is wonderful.
I bet they did because the Jonas
Yeah,
Brothers, they're really awesome now. I mean, they were awesome then, but they found their the way that they work now. It's really, really their stuff's really good.
I like them. I'm a big fan. I like when they came out with Bop. I fell in love with
Okay, yeah.
them. um, that's your first concert. Can we talk about the Sphere?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So the Sphere in Las Vegas, Google it. It's freaking badass. It's just amazing. And U2, badass and amazing in their own right, opened it up and they played, I don't know, a few months of shows there. And my friend went and he came back and he's a huge U2 fan. Did I tell this story already?
I don't remember. I know the story you're
No,
about to tell, but I don't remember if you've told it. So
I
tell it
haven't.
again while I have to run somewhere really quick.
Right on. All right. So he goes to Vegas and he can't wait. And he's my age. So I mean, I'm 50 fucking six. So U2 came out, right around the same time I was growing up. They're my age. And that was a huge deal. And it's just best venue in the world. So he's there and he comes back and he's showing me, videos and stuff. And he's like, "It's everything they say it is structurally. I mean, the venue just is amazing and the band, the band. And he's telling me about the show and this blew my mind. It's in Vegas and I don't know how many seats, let's say 20,000. And he said probably 80% of the crowd. So 16,000, 15 to 16,000 were U2 fans. We're there for U2. And the others were people who were in Vegas on business trips and they had the option of a, Jeep tour in the desert or a wine tasting somewhere, or you can go to a concert at the Sphere. And they're like, all right, March, let's go to the concert at the Sphere. So when the band is playing and concerts, if they're done right, have an arc, they
Yeah.
build up.
Yeah.
And so the band is building, and these people who just took the tickets because Mars didn't want to go to the casino, sat down. We're still sitting. They didn't get it. They weren't there for the band. They weren't there because the songs meant anything to them. And that would wreck it for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely think that as well. Like, normally when I go to concerts, I'm like in with everybody, right? Like I'm in the crowd with other people, and that energy, like you said, is just so electrifying. But for one of these artists that I really like, Breakins, I was in the balcony for him, which was a new experience. I had been on the balcony before for other bands. But I was having a really bad OCD day that day. So I was like, I don't think I can be around a lot of people as much as I want to be and as much as I want to feel that energy. I just can't be in a big crowd. So I'm gonna go to the balcony. So I went to the balcony and I was around these people who were actually the most awesome people to be around at a show, and like really made the balcony a lot of fun because of the fact that they were jumping up and down, they were dancing, they were ad-libbing, they were matching my energy. We were all having like a lot of fun together and we were just jumping around, and it was a really, really great experience, and it really helped calm a lot of my anxiety because I have like sometimes I have really bad like social anxiety and like health anxiety being around other people.
Yeah.
And so being up there, I had a lot of like FOMO as well, like not being in the group with everybody, like not being in the thick of it and like jumping around with everybody and like being in the throes. Like I really like I was really struggling with it. But the people around me made it so much better and made it so much more worth it because they were jumping up and down and having just as much energy as I was, which I thought was really awesome. And that can make or break a show. Seriously, because if I was up there and those guys around me like were not as amp or as hype as I was, I would have felt stupid because when I saw Kendrick Lamar at Lollapalooza, that's exactly how it was. I was jumping up and down, I was singing every word, I was like, getting really excited, and I was like full on energy, and nobody around me was. There was like a few people, like a few rows behind me that were, but like for the most part, it was just me by myself, and it kind of ruined the whole experience for me.
Yeah, so you get it. You said two words I never heard together, but that means everything to me. Matching energy. People in the balcony had matching energy with me.
Yes.
And that you're exactly right. That's what I'm talking about too. That because the energy gets created and then it gets exponentially ramped up unless somebody's fucking it up. So
Exactly.
matching energy, I think, is a and then my brain went, you know what? It goes to relationships, it goes to conversations. If we can match our energy when we sit down to have a talk, it's gonna go a whole lot better than if we're not, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Than if we're not. I like that. I like that, those two words.
Exactly. That's always
Don't
what I'm always looking for at a show. But yeah, I'm done with my story.
because you can tell another one if you want.
Did you
Did
finish
you
yours?
I think I did, yeah.
Okay.
Did you? Oh, the no. Other thing, I wonder how the band felt the first time they realized what they had gotten themselves into. When they hadn't been able to play anywhere live in years,
Yeah.
and here they are opening the biggest venue in the world, and all
Only
of a
for people to
sudden,
stay seated.
20% of the crowd's like, we don't care. You turn
Yeah.
it down. That would be a really weird moment for me in my brain if I were on stage.
I think too, like people are very unaware of how impactful U2 is to a lot of like different generations. I think when you're younger, when you're like your 30s or your 20s, like you don't understand the impact that they had on music in general, unless like you're really into music in general and you're into that like genre. But they did make a really big impact for their genre specifically, and they were huge for a lot of people. And so for the people that were there that did want to be there, that paid tickets to be there, it was huge for them. But I think,
Exactly.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
I don't know. I struggle with the idea of like why are you going to a show you don't want to be at? Especially when concert tickets are so expensive. And then we can talk about
Oh,
that
no,
as a
no, no,
whole
no, no,
other
no, no,
thing.
no, 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 no. I mistold it then. I'm
Oh
talking
no, you
about
said
people.
no, you were right.
People
You
are on
said that
business trips and
right.
they
Yeah,
can
yeah.
pick,
You said that. Yeah, you said
Yeah.
that.
They didn't pay for their tickets.
But I do wanna bitch about the price of concert tickets and the inaccessibility of concert tickets
Whoa,
nowadays because it's
whoa, whoa,
absolutely
before we do that,
unacceptable.
we don't bitch yet.
Okay, sorry.
Did you think of anything, any songs that you want to talk about?
What do you mean?
Because that was the discussion we had. What songs mean something to you, or band, or why, or
Oh. We also had a question too. Um, so yeah, we'll talk about I don't know. I can't really put into like a succinct list of bands that mean something to me because there's so many.
how about this then? How about getting to see your favorite song played live by the band?
So I think right now, because I'll go through phases of like hyper obsessions with artists and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so my recent obsession is Breakins. I got to see him at Lollapalooza. That took my obsession to a hyper obsession. And then I got to see him in Columbus very recently. And that was really, really cool. That was like icing on the cake. And that was a situation where like I want to go see that show again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
And then there was another show that I went to with my friend, Del Watergap, which was really good. I wasn't super into Del Watergap. I like him a lot and I listen to him quite frequently, but it wasn't anything where I was like, oh, I'm obsessed, you know. I went and the show was so incredible and so moving. And I ended up actually crying during one of the speeches that he gave that like it really changed the artist for me a lot. Like, have you ever had that where you've gone to a concert and you've seen somebody live that you didn't necessarily expect to see live, maybe an opener or like whatever, and you ended up really, really, really liking them?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I have a friend to this day that I met doing that. He's a singer-songwriter, makes a living doing that.
That's
And
awesome.
Del Watergap, that dude, I was impressed. So, and you pass that on to me, and then I'll pass that on to people. So,
There you
and
go.
that's
Spread the
energy
good word.
too. Yeah, that's matching energy.
Yeah.
And
I
it,
think it's really cool too, like sharing music in that way and sharing like a side of you. Like people who I share music tastes with or who I share music with, I share a very special bond with them because of that. You know, when we can be like, oh my God, this person's coming out with this album. Like, I'm so excited. Like, here you go. And they're like, no way. Oh my God, I'm so excited. You know, those kinds of things. It's really cool.
yeah, it is very cool. People you can bond over music easily,
Yeah, it's
or
awesome.
or find out that you don't want to hang out with that person. So, um, hmm. Oh, you were telling stuff, and I'm sorry, and I cut you off, and then that didn't go anywhere because we're not doing what we were doing.
No, you're
So,
fine.
so no, you want to bitch about inaccessibility to concerts.
Oh yeah.
It is
Um,
kind of stupid how much it costs.
yeah, it's just not like it used to be, you know, where you could it's just not like it used to be where you could like just go on Ticketmaster and, you know, maybe spend 30 to $100 on a ticket. Maybe 200 would be like kind of the most that you would spend. And nowadays you have to literally get pre-sale. Hop up in the pre-sale. You have to literally set your timer for 10 a.m. You have to
You
get those tickets as soon as it's 10 a.m. or
know
else
what
they're
though?
gonna be $1,000.
You gotta try to jump in that waiting room about a half an hour before on Ticketmaster.
Yeah, it's
Wait.
honestly crazy. And I went to, so my friend got us tickets for Sleep Token, which I'm very, very excited about. One of my favorite bands right now. And I always say right now because that's an ever changing. Um, and I signed up for the pre-sale for 3 different dates, and I did not get the pre-sale until the next day.
all of the tickets were already sold out.
Oh,
So
man.
like the pre-sale like scheduling or whatever, it said that it was like scheduled to release at the pre-sale time, but like half of them just didn't. And
That's sucky.
so a lot of people got fucked out of getting tickets, and now if they
Well,
want tickets, it's going to be like thousands of dollars because Sleep Token's super hot right now.
pre-sale is, you got to be careful with pre-sale because there are several pre-sales for concerts. There's the city card holders pre-sale. There's the band's pre-sale. If like, if you like a
Yeah.
band, go to their website and subscribe to their everything,
Yep.
uh, because that's how you get the pre-sale
But it's
code.
like that's not how it should be. Like you shouldn't have to jump through all these hoops just to go see somebody in concert. Like it should be way more accessible.
Well,
Like
then what we have,
Ticketmaster and Live Nation have such a monopoly over everyone. It's crazy.
they do, but that's a capacity issue because concerts are selling out.
Yeah, and it's also because people buy them and then resell them for like tons and tons of money,
But
which
they're
they're
still
trying to
full. But they're
yeah, they're
still
trying to
full, is what I'm saying.
they're trying to crack down on that though. But like oftentimes they're not full. I'll go to concerts that are completely sold out and they won't actually be sold out because the resale tickets never actually sold for the amount that the person was trying to sell them for. It's just insane.
I haven't had that experience. I mean, I've seen empty seats here and there from that, but um, yeah, it's very expensive. It's yeah, it just is.
So I would like to answer the question that we got for today from our wonderful audience member. What is the one musician or band that you haven't seen in concert yet that you most want to?
Elvis,
Elvis.
no question, Elvis
But
straight
it's
up.
yet. You haven't seen in concert yet. You can't
I
go see
haven't.
Elvis.
Well, if he came to town, I would. Um, what do you got?
Um, I don't know. It's a great question. Sleep Token, obviously, but I'm about to go see them. Um, I thought about this too when you sent me this question. It's just a hard one to answer right now. Because I have so many different people that I would like to go see, but honestly, like, hmm. I'm trying to think of somebody that I want to go see that I know has had a really good show before. I'd like to see Dayseeker, which I had an opportunity to see them before, but my OCD was really bad. And that's what my issue is that like I really want to go see these people, but I never know how I'm gonna be feeling on that day if I'm gonna be able to even do it. Like I had the chance to see one of my favorite bands, Hail the Sun, very close in a venue I'm very comfortable with, but the day that came and my OCD and my anxiety was so bad that I literally couldn't even leave my house.
What?
Yeah.
Let me give you
So,
just a short list of bands that I've had tickets to and didn't go.
okay.
REM, Simon and Garfunkel, Prince, Dave Matthews Band, Jacko Pierce, All American Rejects. Those are just
See,
six like
that would be
in,
somebody I would really like to go see in concert is All American Rejects. Like any bands that were like big when I was growing up, I think it would be just an awesome experience. I'd love to go see like Demi Lovato or the Jonas Brothers again. I think that would be a really cool, like fun reparative experience for me because they were like really
it
big.
would. Yeah,
They were really
would.
big for me growing up in terms of like they really helped me get through a lot of stuff. And especially now because Demi Lovato is like re-releasing her old stuff rock version, which
Oh,
is really
cool.
cool. And I like that a lot because that was a lot of the stuff that I really connected to.
That's cool. I'll listen to that. What I don't listen to now is Taylor Swift has 17 versions of every fucking song that she releases. Too many.
Taylor's version. Do you know why that is?
No.
Okay, so I will tell you a quick backstory on Taylor Swift. I'm not going to hate on Taylor Swift. I think that, she is a fantastic musician. She's just not for me. But the reason is because she created, made all of this music, right? Um, and obviously like with her team or whatever, the masters and the songs were all under a specific label, were all taken out from under her and sold to like a different company or something. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but basically they went behind her back and sold all of her masters, so she didn't have rights to any of the music that she created.
Thus the
So,
different versions.
thus the different versions. She's taking all of the old versions off streaming sites and replacing them with her versions because they're her songs, so she can actually get royalties and money for it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Hey, can we start a segment where we get to ask upside down Billiam in the crystal ball question?
sure.
Okay,
Upside
next.
down crystal ball,
Not
Billiam.
now.
I have a
Next week.
question.
Yeah,
Oh, next
okay.
week. Okay. That
What you got?
that will be the cliffhanger for today.
Do I get to answer the question?
Yes, of course you do.
What was the question?
The question was, you said Elvis to answer the
Oh, who
question.
would I want to see that I haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
But still alive.
Yes.
With the
Ideally.
couch. Oh, Josh Ritter. I mean, I'm not like dying, waking up every morning giddy with excitement for the next 2 months, but
Yeah, but who would you be super giddy and excited to go see that you haven't seen? Because you've seen a lot of your favorite bands you've already seen. Same thing with
yeah,
me, I think.
yeah, yeah. Been lucky. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know it's a hard question. Like I've been thinking about this too, and it's like I guarantee as soon as we hang up here, I'll think of like 5 million people. But
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people that I really like. Like got to see Mac Miller in concert. I got to see like Chance the Rapper, Action Bronson. I got to see a lot of different people in my time before my OCD took over my life.
In my time, where did you see Mac Miller?
I saw him in Indianapolis. What venue was it? Old National Center, I think.
Well, it was
Um,
big venue.
it was a pretty decent size. It wasn't huge. It was all GA.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
your thing. If you didn't come back from a concert with bruises, you didn't have a good time.
right. And it was really cool because it was a space migration tour. So that was when Mac Miller was kind of at his like his just come up trajectory, which was really cool. And Earl Sweatshirt was on there, Chance the Rapper was on there, Sid the Kid was there with the internet. And then there were like a few other people there as well. And it was like a once in a lifetime lineup. It really was. And it was a really, really cool experience. And I'm so glad that I ended up going. Especially considering now Mac Miller is no longer with us. RIP. So it was really cool to get to see him before he like really, really blew up. And then I got to see in Vegas J. Cole, which was really, really cool. And I really liked that concert. And this was the day that Mac Miller died, actually. I was at the J. Cole concert. Well, I heard the news before the J. Cole concert, was really upset. Went to the J. Cole concert. J. Cole dedicated his song Love Yours to Mac. And it was just really beautiful. And it was a really cool way to like honor him. It was just really,
That's
really
pretty
cool.
cool that you were there on that day. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's really wild.
what's the name of that song? 2009?
2009.
I remember, I don't know how it showed up on my feed. I don't know, a year ago or whatever, and I was like, "Oh my God." And I sent it to you. I watched that thing 4 or 5 times in a row. And
Yeah.
then when I found out, why he passed away, that's just,
Yeah, it's hard. It's
it
really
is very hard.
difficult. Yeah.
I pulled this off the fridge.
Okay.
Here's a lineup for you.
Okay, great.
Rockfest,
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Bush,
Wow.
love them. Collective Soul,
Ooh.
arguably my favorite band ever. Counting Crows, Jewel, No Doubt, The Wallflowers. Meredith Brooks was there. She's not on the ticket. Remember that song, Bitch?
No.
Um, I'm a
BITCH.
How crazy though that No Doubt is billed 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth down, and Bush is top, and then it happened. I don't know if that's where they met and everything started happening between Gavin Rossdale and Gwen Stefani, but yeah, I don't remember who all else was there, but
That's a wild lineup. That's so cool. I would love to see the Counting Crows. I think that would be really cool. Bush too. Any kind of like dad rock era band, I think I would really like to see just because it would be fun.
All right, can we tell that story from the Taft since you brought up
What?
Dad Rock that we alluded to last week? So Amanda and I go to a meeting at the
Oh yeah, okay.
down the street, and because I was on this committee and I brought her with me, and they sent the meeting minutes out in an email, and it said, "Hey, it was really nice to have Bill and Amanda Brown from the Recovery Center here," and I printed it off because I was all excited, and I took it into her office and I said, "Look, they think we're married." I'm gonna tell it my way, and you can tell how it really happened. I think Amanda looked up and said, "They think you're my dad." And I think I went and shrunk to about that big and like went, "Oh, you're probably right." And turned around and walked out. Oh my God. It
Because
never occurred to me
I
that
had
that
just
was the
started
case.
working there too. So I was like 23, 24 at the time. And so I look at you, I go like that. My facial expression was like this. I'm pretty sure they think that you're my dad, actually.
It didn't even occur to me, but I mean, 999 times out of 1,000, that's the case.
Because like, what is our age difference?
A lot, like 60 years. It's
Not
ridiculous.
that many, but yeah, we have a good amount of time between us.
That is
Oh,
that
that was really funny.
that is one of the most humbling stories of my life. And the other one is I met this girl on Bumble and we went out a few times and everything
Oh,
was
that was so
going
funny.
great.
Okay.
And then I texted her one day and I said, "Hey, you know what? Just so you know, when you're done with somebody you meet on Bumble, it's better just to disappear, just ghost them."
Yeah.
Never heard from her again.
Yep. Honestly, I stand. That's awesome. That's great behavior.
And I respect that. And I respect myself for not ever saying, "Hey, were you serious about that?"
Right.
Let it go. So, how long
All
have we been
right.
talking?
About 40 minutes.
All right, that's good.
All right. Are we ready to
Um,
call it? Because I gotta go have my anxiety attack in peace and figure out what I'm gonna do with
yeah,
my life.
don't buy that condo this weekend. Think about that.
Well, I
You're,
mean, if I don't, it's gonna be gone. That's the market right now.
I know there'll be
Can't
more.
wait.
I know. All right.
All right.
Hey, have a good weekend.
You too. Bye, Bill.
All right. Bye.
Bye,